good deal today.
The tablecloth is long enough.
Good deal is wearing pants today. Hey, why are you letting these two sit out there?
I was gonna say, it's like they're sitting out.
You're monitoring. I don't think that's right. I think we must have told everybody at the tours.
Oh, I thought you were moderating. Like you're
monitoring.
reading the-
No, he's monitoring, not moderating.
He's CTOing. I recognize a few people on the tour. That's a good sign. Yeah, run away, Aaron.
Have a great talk.
Appreciate it. Well, we're not gonna wait. Let's switch that off.
There we go.
Okay.
So apparently we were meant to do a talk. We were aware of it. Blake did nicely do a PowerPoint presentation for us, which I refused to bring my laptop because after the tour, I won't lie, I was very tired. And honestly, I'd rather shoot off the cuff. And I really want to point out who makes us successful. And it's the people sitting behind me. And I kind of want this talk to be about them. And ask them questions. These are the people that touch the games every day. Obviously, we'll open up to Q&A for everyone. But I don't think the people on the line and behind the scenes get enough attention. I personally don't really enjoy being in the limelight, to be honest. And if it wasn't for these people, you wouldn't have the games you have in your home. Actually, so who has a Barrels of Fun game here in the collection? Thank you. Two.
You ordered.
There we go. Hey, friend. All right.
Oh, so sponging off of them, huh? Yeah.
It's about 2 hour drive away.
Oh,
2 hours.
Yeah.
There you go.
You need to get your own.
So I would like to go down the line. I want everyone to introduce themselves. Yeah, Lee, that's you. You're starting. And I want you to tell them what you do, and then I'm going to heckle you all down from here.
All right, my name is Lee, and I work right now in the cabinet section. So I work a lot with like the CNC machine, making the cabinets, the back boxes, and yeah, so I'm doing that right now.
I'm Matt. I run the warehouse. I do the line, sub-assembly, cabinets, all that.
Hi, I'm Victor. I work on the worm mech. So the worm that rises up and down, that's me.
He's a worm specialist.
He's a worm wrangler.
Worm wrangler. Worm wrangler.
Test. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing?
This is the infamous Reggie. Everyone give Reggie a round of applause.
Hi, my name is Reggie, wired wizard in training. I handle all the electrical stuff and just making sure that connections run well, best they can, making sure crimps is right, and a little bit of troubleshooting.
I would say a bit of troubleshooting.
Oh, that is bad. I'm just gonna talk. Can you guys hear me? Yes,
Use that
fine.
for feedback.
Hi, I'm Jess. So I do quality documentation and support for our amazing customers. So getting to interact with people. I have a tech background, so I was quality control for the Labyrinth run, and now I've moved into more of the documentation side and trying to break everything to see what could potentially go wrong that we need to fix before the games go out.
Commonly known as tech support. You know, that number that you call on the 1-800 number that rings unheard in my desk. I help Jess with the tech support. My primary job though is to write the manuals for the games and document everything that's in all these little thousands of parts that are in the game and try and get everything in the right spot. So if you have a problem, you can order something from Jess and get a replacement or backup or whatever.
And Sarah Winchester's here.
So we need someone to make more room. Oh, you want to sit at the front?
Yeah.
You're going to sit up front because you're on the sit over here. You got to sit over there. So everyone welcomes Sarah.
Hello.
So Sarah, why don't you tell them what you do?
I work in QC, quality control. So when all the games are done, being put together by cabinets and all the play fields and all of that, then me and my other teammate, who isn't here unfortunately, go through them and make sure that there's nothing wrong with them and that they were put together correctly. And then play test and cleaning and packing them up.
So.
Wait. Two more behind you.
Oh.
No. I'm David Fawcett, otherwise probably known as Fosma. I'm the CTO, and I do purchasing and ERP stuff and basically anything Dave doesn't want to do.
He's the field utility player.
There you go.
So if you call Dave and he doesn't want to answer the phone, he just
It goes directly to him. So there's many conversation. Are you Fosma? Or he gets known as the CEO, which is kind of funny.
No, I just say I'm the other David. I'm not Australian.
The double D. Luke.
All right, I'm Luke. I think my real title is prototype engineer, but I do some mechanical engineering as well. I built I got a lot of help, but I built the prototype Winchesters.
Samples of Winchesters.
And yeah.
You want to announce yourself?
Me? Oh, I'm Brian, and I don't do anything that's useful. Yes. But I'm the one you all hate because I'm the one that does all the scheduling.
So you know, all these people are great individuals. They all have their unique personalities. And so, for example, Matt and Lee, known as the Matt Lee crew, employee number 1, employee number 2. Everyone else is scrambled up here, so that's the only 2 I can really point out. So on that side of it. But we all have one thing in common, that we all love pinball. In fact, they've all been involved in pinball in some form. And I want you all to understand. Actually, Blake, you're not getting away hiding up in that corner. Come on. Tell us what you do.
He's over there smirking.
My name is Blake Gibbsnell. I do marketing, graphics, art direction, help with some of the licensing stuff.
Convention setup.
Merchandise, convention setup. Beautiful.
So again, these are all people that are extremely passionate about pinball and have lent so much to what we do as a company. And I want you all to know, you may not work for a pinball company, but you guys actively playing and being a part of it contributes to all of that. So I want to say thank you for coming and listening to us. And I'm going to go straight up and just open up to QC. To questions from the audience, because we can sit here and make a really short story long, and I do that too much. So, questions?
For Lee, if you decided to do a wide body cabinet, how hard would that be? Pretty easy, just like a machine?
It'd be pretty simple. It's just a matter of just changing certain dimensions for like the base of the cabinet and the back and front. So it really it's pretty simple as far as putting it together. It's just it interlocks in itself. So as long as you got the dimensions where you need to for a wide body, or like as wide as you want it, it'll interlock and glue together just fine.
Like a cell finish.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, well, let's go.
Next, come on.
What do y'all find, like, you can change one thing in the manufacturing process that's like a speed bump? Like, what's the one, like, attribute that you guys always?
Oh, this will be good.
You first.
I would say it's probably unique for every position.
What are the challenges, guys? You can be, you can talk freely. It's okay.
Making parts right, having parts, getting parts, making sure everything is done correctly is a big part.
Just trying to put me out of a job.
No, it is done correctly.
You're just verifying it's done correctly.
I would say hidden things like wire crimps. So stuff that you can't see when the game comes to you straight away, that you need to track down. That is a small component part that you need to get to. So the smaller the part, the earlier on in the process it was made, the more difficult it is to get to when you get to the end of the process and check everything.
Hear the crickets?
It's a question for everybody, but and just very brief. But
what is one thing that brings you joy in your role and position when you're at work?
Oh, this is even better.
And then the worst.
No, these are interview questions.
Because I was on the tour this morning and I was just kind of looking at it going like, you know, the employees here, I would love it. Like, it just looked like such a great place to work.
It's barrels of fun.
I know, and you know what? It's
barrels of fun every day.
Which day?
But I think
Every day.
everybody must have like they're excited about like tomorrow I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's cool seeing like getting a flow, everybody getting their own flow, and seeing just whether it's play fields getting ready in a certain spots where they're ready to get kind of stacked up to ready to go, boxes in games, like just, you know what I mean, just ready to go as far. Yeah. So just getting like a backstock and stuff.
Watching it go from a raw play field to an actual pinball shooting that you're gonna get at your house. When we started, like all the ladders we set out or sent out, we would call them like sending your kid to college. So everyone that went out was like one of our little kids.
Cool.
So y'all getting it at your house and watching the work that goes into it and out the door is what makes me happy.
I do think it's funny, we had a couple of employees that went in pinball at all, and like they'd been making labyrinths for probably 4 or 5 months, and now they just saw like the tested video, and they're like, holy crap, we make that, why is it untested? I'm like, dude, like it's labyrinth, but like the reality is they are so in the groove doing stuff, you don't sometimes stop to realize where these games go and where they turn up. So
I would say when the worm comes together and seeing it move up and down smoothly, it's great. Because I put all this effort in and to see it work nearly perfect, fantastic. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, that's the answer. That's a great thing.
I kind of look at it as like a making your bed kind of scenario, because like I do all the wire harnesses, so I'm literally making a mess on purpose and then like cleaning it up on the way. So it's like, you know,
first he sleeps on the plate.
He's
like,
yeah, it's just like, you know, start to finish, like the chaos into like, you know, organization.
A nice braided ponytail.
Yeah, I come out for I chuck the worm Reggie and he's still sleeping. Yeah.
Getting to talk to customers where they have trusted us to be their first pinball machine. They've never taken a lockdown bar off or pulled glass off of a game. So I do a lot of like video call walkthrough things with people, and they are terrified to lift a playfield for the first time. And when I can walk them through and teach them about like basic troubleshooting things that will go for any of their games, where to look for the wires that could have come loose when it was shipping, that kind of thing, just basic maintenance stuff, and they start to feel confident in their abilities.
I'm proud of themselves.
Yeah, really, you could tell there's a sense of accomplishment when they've done this thing that they were terrified to do. So to be able to help them reach that point and, you know, be comfortable to come back and ask me questions, not just, you know, this specific thing. If I wanted to do this, how would I do it? Like, they want to learn. So when I have people like that, that's incredibly satisfying, because I'll get messages from them like 6-7 months down the line, and they're like, oh, the flipper moved a little bit and I adjusted the way that you told me to and it works great. Like, not even I have a problem, just, hey, I did this thing that you told me about forever ago and it worked. So that's always satisfying for me.
I love the challenge of that every game is like a thumbprint. It's like its own, even every game in a build, these guys will tell you, you know, every game has its own little quirks and but every, you know, changing from one game to the next game, switching over, finishing the Labyrinth manual, starting on the Dune manual, you know, you think, oh, well, you've done one manual, now the next ones are gonna be easy. No, well, Dune is significantly different and significantly similar to Labyrinth at the same time. And I like to try and take something, when people see me lift the play field up and look underneath it, they're just like, oh my God, I wouldn't know where to start. And that's where the manual comes in. I think, you know, you're bringing somebody through something that's very complex, and the challenges each game presents, unique challenges of trying to do that in layman's terms, something that's easy, visually understandable, and ordered and methodical. It's really cool. And that's also the worst thing too, because every game changes so much and trying to figure out what you can use, what you can reuse, and so yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Well, thank you. I love the manuals. When I get them, if I buy something and I get a manual, it's such a win. It's such a bonus for me. It's not great reading, but.
That's why I try to make it as pretty as I can too, yeah. I want it to make it
It's
look
awesome.
nice too, yeah.
Lady Winchester,
I personally love that, like, as terrible as it is, a lot of the games like come to me with at least one problem. But I love that about it because I get to solve that issue, and I love learning. I love solving problems. Like even if it's a tiny crimp, like now I get to look through the whole game, find that crimp, and honestly, I love doing it. Like I love finding out you're learning a new thing every single time, every single game. It's like, have I come across this problem before? How can I solve it? And it not only helps with that, but it helps to like fix other games that are outside of Barrels of Fun. Like if I go to an arcade and I see something fun, I'm like, oh, I know how to fix that now. So I have to do that at work. And then obviously I get to play test the games, so that's pretty cool. I like play testing them, so I just get to play them.
Very cool. I think I'd like your job.
I love my job.
Just need a visa. Luke?
And what do I not love about my job? I feel like I get a fun job as prototype engineer, so when there's new stuff coming in, it's like Christmas every week. I get like a shipment of parts that I need to, do the next development of a game. But also, designing some new things too. Sometimes I'll have like a thing on the print that I get to. I'll have like a 10-hour print that goes overnight, and I'm really excited to go see it in the morning. So, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say Luke probably does have the best job because it's literally like when he came in, it's like, oh, the fiber laser came in. He's like, fiber laser? CNC brake press? Like, what is this? So, but
These tools you speak of.
he's just been whipping up parts, and if you guys are here on the tour, it's just like having all that stuff in house. Like, I mean, let's take the an up kick that you literally did this week. From concept to having it in your hand, how long did that take you to do?
Before lunch, so like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, like, and now that's gonna be, obviously we gotta test it, but that'll be a standard part for Barrels of Fun moving forward on every game. And it's just like, again, we could not do that in-house before. So, those things are cool. Blake?
Pinball's always been sort of a living, breathing art form to me, and so I love the storytelling nature of what we're doing with these machines. The sky's sort of the limit on what ideas we can throw at the wall and see what sticks. And getting to watch the development team like Luke and our animators and sound guys and designers start to make these things work and make them happen, make the magic actually happen in these machines, and watching that from cradle to grave all the way through to a finished product, I think is the most rewarding aspect of working with this team. And it's we've just got an incredibly talented group of people that I'm honored to get to be a very, very small part of, and every day pretty much.
So Foster, you don't get out of this because you're taking photos. So
No, I just like seeing how everything goes from the smallest little part that comes in from wherever we get it from, all the way to the finished product. And it's just interesting. Just even the programming, because that's what my background is. Just seeing how that all comes together, and it's just we've got this game that comes from almost nothing to this like what you see right now. I never would have imagined being in that situation, and it's pretty awesome. But the thing that people haven't mentioned up here about what they don't like is have to work with Dave.
hey, I saved you all from Brian.
Could be working with me. Oh wait, you do work with me every day.
But what again, like I wish more people were here from the team, but again, they're so passionate about pinball. We've got people playing in tournaments right now. I'm not going to pull them from that to come out here. I mean, they're not going to get their little surprise now, but I know these people would.
I'll
take it to them.
But like again, it's like, so these are the local people, but we have another 5 to 10 people that are remote, that are working every day on making the animation animations and working on code and rules and just, you know, art. Like, it is an ever breathing thing. It's like Phil Grimaldi. Who knows Phil Grimaldi here? Anyone? A few people? Alright, so with Phil, you know, he's very remote. I mean, he used to be here in Houston, but it was kind of funny. He was always paranoid, like, how are you going to get to the deadline? How are you going to get to the deadline? Because he just comes in, plays a whitewater two, disappears. Then all of a sudden he turns up in Chicago. He's like, how did this game happen? Like, the last time I played it was all white and like chunky and all that type of stuff. And we've literally, every game we've launched, he's just like, how does this happen? It's like magic, you know, you did it again. And it's just like, but it really is. There's a lot of time of us all working together, figuring out the best process to do it, and just executing the best we possibly can. And you know what? We screw up. We screw up a lot. But this is a team effort, not an I effort. And every single person here is a part of that. And I know everyone kind of loves to live in the limelight of being, you know, the launch of a game and so forth like that. Like, I like to coin the word pinball famous. But at the end of the day, 80-90%, it's these people that make it all happen. If these guys don't do their job well, there's no more new games coming out. And I can't stress the importance of what these guys do. And trust me, it gets tiring for these guys. Like, it's not all, you know, you saw how much fun it is, you see the personalities, but it isn't fun. Because we do miss deadlines.
We know you think it's all glory, but it's just not.
You know, it's tough.
I'm sorry.
But again, now this is putting me on the spot, but would you really want to do anything else than what you guys are doing now?
I'll never find
And
a
you
good
can
job.
say no, it's okay.
Yes, I would like to know.
But seriously, you guys work in AC, you get to make really cool stuff, and I'm not trying to put you on the point, but I mean, I wish I had the opportunity you all had, to be honest. You know? And this is just not the stopping point for these guys. You know, if they keep putting effort in, they can go anywhere. I started out making, you know, being in school, then went to film school, did that for 25 years, and now we're in manufacturing. I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed that 10 years ago, 5 years ago. You know?
I didn't even know what ERP was until I got here.
No, it's
I don't
That's
know.
how
I got the
thinks.
pinball.
That's how I feel about it every second day.
Yes. Now, I think part of the crazy story is that, you know, 2.5 years ago, Barrels of Fun existed in David's dining room. And now we're at 30,000 square feet of facility with stuff everywhere. And I walk through, because I live in Fort Worth, so I work remotely. And I walk through and go like, oh, we are just in this insane as we could possibly be. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these people. Look at all these things we've made. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
just
we've
crazy.
made 3 games in less than 2 years. Which is like, honestly, Brian hasn't been around too much this year. Cause he's been
I'm usually on a
doing ton of
cruise,
stuff.
yeah.
I didn't want to throw you under the bus. But like, him and me standing in the lobby, and you had Labyrinth sitting there, Dune and Winchester. It was like, crap, dude. Like, we did this. And I know that doesn't sound like much to you, it's just a pinball machine, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. But I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, my favorite part is when vendors actually send their parts on time and they're correct. That's my favorite part, because that means my schedule doesn't change of when your game goes out.
Yeah.
You know, that's my favorite part, is let's just keep the parts coming in. You know, because it is a lot, and it's been challenging with the tariffs and supply chain, you know, issues, and it's been a lot of different problems we've had, but we've managed to overcome. You know, and every one of them, and hit the marks with what we need to do, particularly with Winchester. It was a short turn game, you know, from normal development. And this has always been our plan. This is not like we needed to bring out another game because of, you know, lower sales in Dune. You know, no, it has not met our expectation, but right now, because of people coming and playing at shows like this, I mean, I think we have 3 orders today, just today.
Yep.
You know, for stuff direct. And I don't know about distributors, but the more people play the game, the more they seem to love the game and want to, you know, want to own one. But our plan was always to put out a 3rd game in this time frame.
Yep.
But what you'll continue to find from us is we learn that it's incredibly important for everything we do to be a secret. Because you see, we put the foe back into mode, you know, with this launch of Winchester.
Yeah, actually, I had a very good friend of me in another industry. He's a pinball person too, but he's in a completely different industry. And I didn't think about it, but he literally called me up. And I was literally driving to Chicago with Carl, with the games.
In the truck.
And he was like, dude, you're the first game to sell out in 2026. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, Evil Dead came out, but that didn't sell out for 6 months. And that's an amazing game, don't get me wrong. He said, but the market's been rough. Like, every manufacturer has been struggling, and we can vouch for that. Like, it's been tough. But when Winchester came out, and trust me, we didn't expect it to sell out. He goes, dude, you sold out.
28 hours. In 28 hours.
You know, and that's because, well, honestly, we're reading the tea leaves because we're seeing the economic crisis. We're seeing people being very scared with their investments. Pinball's not an investment, just so you know.
Yep. Depreciating asset. Put that out there.
But again, like, we're seeing, because I'm sure everyone here has to tighten their belts up, right? So we knew that there was a lull, and I have friends in the other pinball companies as well. I mean, we are competitive, but we do talk to each other. Things are not easy. And then Winchester just came out and just went. Beetlejuice just came out and went. So it says, to me, we stick to what we core believe, that we set up the company, the philosophy of our company, which is keep it quiet, make it cool, everything else should follow.
Can I elaborate on the secret thing a little bit?
Sure.
Just don't tell any secret.
So I used to work for another pinball company, which I shall not name at this time, but in my first 6 months of working there, I knew the next 3 games already.
How many do you know now?
I know 0.
I'd like to elaborate a little on what Brian was saying, what you're talking about with the tariffs and the parts and them getting in and all that. Look at all the parts in a pinball machine, top and bottom, inside and out, cabinet, back box, all those things. If one of those parts is not there, you can't make the game, and it causes such a backlog and a log jam on an assembly line. When one part's missing, all the playfields that don't have that part have to go to a different place, and the ones that do have it can move on, but then there may be another missing part down there. Now 2 parts are missing or 3 parts are missing. It's a real nightmare, and to be able to just grind through that, push through that, and get the games out, it's almost miraculous with as many things as there are, and how difficult it can be to get some of these parts these days. So
yeah, my analogy is, who's driven in the Houston traffic? Anybody? It's a lot like that.
Dude, just
stop and go, stop and go,
no,
stop and
just
go.
put a podcast on and
Yeah.
just enjoy the ride. You'll get there eventually.
It's better than Seattle.
I've only walked in Seattle, so I don't know. I never drove. Don't drive there.
More questions?
With Winchester, I think a lot of us were super excited for the design being Carl D'Angelo. Are there any, like, I know no secrets or whatever, just pie in the sky, like, what are other kind of, not even just design, but other people in any other industry that you would love to work with on a future game?
So the good thing about what's happening with licensing, I guess, is what you're really getting at, right?
Sure, yeah.
Is our company, we are not an amusement manufacturer. We happen to be making amusement products, but we're a collectible company. We make collectibles. Eventually, we'll have time to do the other stuff that we want to do, but the core foundation is the pinball machines for us, because that's how we met. I sold him a Doctor Who after 6 months of beating me over the head to sell it. But we design games to the licenses that will allow us to create the best story under glass, period. It took 3 years to do what we call phase 1 now. Every game you see now is part of phase 1, which means they were licensed and started design before the company was even public, okay? From us doing that and working with licenses, seeing what stories we're doing under the glass, we have studios weekly, licenses weekly, coming and asking us to work with them. Some of the most crazy stuff I've never thought about.
Yep.
And some of them are like, why are you talking to me? Like, I mean, honestly, my spiel, when I walk in to talk to a licenser, if you're looking to make 10,000 units, go see Stern.
But if you're looking to make something that your fans are going to want and crave for and make it a collectible product, you're talking to the right people. But you have to understand it's a partnership. This is not, we're not paying you money just to slap something on there. And I'm not accusing other companies for doing that, but we are going to design a game around your IP. There's no layout ever laid out before we have an IP. We sit down, whoever the core group is, what are the 5, 10 things that you think of when you think of that license? Okay? Sure, what's the time?
It's okay.
All right.
It's only been
Let's
30
pick a
minutes.
license. Pick an IP. Just throw someone at me.
Goonies.
Goonies. Okay, good deal. I want to hear, off the top of your head, what do you want to see on it?
A pirate ship.
All right, who thought of a pirate ship right now? Put their hand up. All right, cool. Next idea.
Small fireplace.
Fireplace. Who else thought fireplace?
The tunnel under the fireplace.
All right, well, you lost out. Another idea.
The organ.
What do you
in your
remember?
Bones.
Chunk.
Oh.
Hey, you guys.
All right, okay, but all right, I've heard some people with that. What else did I hear? I hear piano,
The organ.
organ. So that's 3.
Bones.
All right, another idea.
No, that was saying that I thought of that.
Anything else?
The key in the map.
Did they do
Yeah,
Mama
did it all.
Fratelli. Mama Fratelli.
Mama Fratelli. Anyone else agree with that? All right, 2.
You gotta have caves.
Oh, is it green?
Okay.
Treasure.
One more.
Treasure.
Wishing well.
Key in the map.
Key in the map. I heard key in the map. All right, so now we have 5 things to put in that game. Because when we design a game, this is how we do it. We let people go away. I don't send them out to watch the movie and deep dive in it. I want to know what the core memories you guys have. If I can find those 5 core memories that resonates with everyone, that needs to be in the game. That's going to speak to you. So when you see it and you see those 5 things in that game, 5, 10, whatever it is, I know I've got you hooked. Now the question is, how do we execute it in a way that touches your memories? That's how we approach every game.
What's your market research?
Gut? No, there's more than that.
Alright, I'll talk about that some. So, market research is listening, watching, talking to people, but in today's world, I'll get back up. When I grew up, Fort Worth, Texas, guess how many TV channels there were?
3.
5.
Oh, wow, you had
3
one in
networks,
Australia.
an independent, and UHF, baby, if you can get that. So, the likelihood that you and I, if we worked together in the same place, that last night watching TV had the same corporate experience watching a show, extremely high. Okay, so we have a lot
60
of
million people.
a lot of nostalgia over one show, whether it's All in the Family or Hee Haw or whatever.
Good
something
times.
weird. Good times. Welcome back, Mr. Mr. Cotter.
Big
All
Wish.
that stuff. So, but in today's world, when you do any type of written, which you're going to see us do some pretty soon, survey stuff, what do we have now? Now we have, we still have all the TV networks. We have 52 million cable networks. We have 75 billion YouTube things and podcasters and all that. So the likelihood that any of us in this room even watch the same, I won't even go show, the same genre, the same category of show is slim to none. Okay? So now you're in a quandary because you're going like, well, here's the world, what do we pick? And so you really have to just kind of watch and feel, because on your bingo card for games coming out in the next 10 years, who had Winchester Mystery House on their card? The one guy that got the bingo, okay? Nobody. But that's why you have to look for property that makes sense. It's what assets they have, what can they provide us, what do we have to build? Again, comment by person online, well, Winchester should have been cheaper because it's a cheap license. Yeah, well, that whole thing about there's no video or clips or any of that we could just pay money for, a little bit of money for each clip. We had to build all that.
I had 2 more people.
Hire 2 more people. So the expense is actually higher
Yep.
for a independent thing. But I digress. So the whole IP thing is, it's really more of, it is some science, but it's a lot of art of just feeling for, we need to explain to you why you want this machine. why is this a good IP?
So I'll give you a case study on this. Dune. Alright, so actually no, I'll even go back. Labyrinth. Actually, this is, you'll probably agree because we've made it.
All right, who had Labyrinth on their
Yeah,
bingo
who
card
had
3 years
Labyrinth as a
ago?
pinball machine?
Same guy. The two people, okay.
So he literally nearly crapped his pants. So he came to interview for the game 2. The line number 2 on the line. We interview. He gets it. He signs an NDA. And like, okay, well, you need to start working on the game. And he goes in, and he was like, "Get the hell out," because that was his dream thing.
I used to make my mom drive me to Blockbuster every weekend to rent that movie when I was a kid. So it was a dream come true.
Yeah, but it was like no one was asking for it, right? Like, but and even on market research, it is a 35 to 45 female demo, not pinball. Pinball is 55 to 65 male. Okay, it's not the demo. It came
Getting
out.
better.
Sorry?
It's getting better.
So, like, that shouldn't have hit, right? But I believed in it. You believed in it. Our team believed in it.
And it also hit for the reason he just said, because it was a female demo.
Because
So-
guess who those age group is married to? The 55 to 65 male.
Yes, and they said, honey, I saw a Labyrinth machine. We need to buy that. I get another pinball machine? Awesome!
I'm in it. So that was like, okay, we figured that out. Dune came to us, and we're like, looking at the science of it, the metrics. That demo is 50, 60 male demo, highly educated, high value dollar.
$1 billion franchise.
A $1 billion franchise. It also has a fandom that's not fractured. You don't have people that like the books, that hate the movies, I hate the TV show, I hate the old movie. They all celebrate that brand. Okay? I mean, for goodness sakes, it started Star Wars. Okay? So, on paper, we're all going like, man, we just literally landed the biggest IP that's not going to stop making, because Legendary truly believe in it, and I believe in it.
And there was a TV show, and then there was a movie before we launched, and about the time we launched, a TV show.
Yeah. So, like, on paper, this is like, woohoo! We're gonna, everyone's gonna get raises. And actually all still did, but I digress. So, but when we had the media day, we brought media people in, 70% never seen both films. And we're like, oh, crap.
Didn't know the property at all.
Did not know the IP at all. And that was like, there was that big disconnect. We like, okay, so now we know the pinball demographic that's in that demographic is even more fractured and had no idea. But if you look at Labyrinth and the care that we put into our games, we knew we were creating something special. When I played that game for the first time and I got to ride the worm and experience Paul's prophecy of him riding the worm, that thing gave me goosebumps. Like, it was a moment. In fact, we didn't even pen the phrase, the pinball, cinematic pinball universe.
Cinematic pinball.
Like, but it really is an experience. Like, with Jeff on the audio and the animations, everything about it is amazing. And we didn't launch it at a show, so no one could really. The only experience they got to feel was through the media, who had no idea what they were playing. So the comments coming out was, "It's fun to shoot, but I have no idea what I'm doing." All right. I started going to shows, and people were like, "Wow, this is an amazing game. Not quite enough code there, but amazing." And it just kept growing and growing. This is I've been in the pinball industry for a long time. Pinball sales go like this and like that. Dune was like, and now it's going up. And because people experience it, they're not here, but I've run across 2 people in the last 2 days that have bought a Dune, not because they're a fan of it, but they played it, experienced it, now have watched the films, they're now going through the TV series, like they are down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, one of them goes, I can't wait till the next movie.
Yeah.
They're playing the game.
From the pinball machine. It all
But that was
started with
kind
that.
of why
Yeah.
we wanted to do it. We want to take IPs of people that are fans of IPs that have never experienced pinball, and now they get to experience a very tactile experience, and they get to basically live it. But we also get to make a cool pinball experience with this IP of people that don't know what the IP is, play a really good playing game, now get to experience a whole new storytelling IP that they've never had a chance to go with. Okay? Now we do Winchester, and we're like I've asked multiple people, it's either they know or they have no idea. And I was really proud on the tour because there were like 90% of the people on the tour actually had known about Winchester. So I've made a lot of fun of my wife today. It's like, see, more people know about it because she had no idea. So back to talking about IP, it really is, you have a metric, but it really comes down to being true to it, make sure you got the right assets and hope for the best. Execute.
But then what David was saying about the first things that you think of when you are told the IP, without going back and watching it, there have been many things that people have mentioned. I have a stack of probably 10 or 12 different movies that have come up on everybody's things, as we watch everything everybody does, and I sit there watching and go, yeah, that one sucks. Yeah, that one's horrible. Oh wow, I don't remember it being like this. So it's really more what's living in your head than the actual, how good the actual movie or TV show or whatever it is. And so that's what you're looking for, is I got to pull those common things out that that just strike you without you really going and watching the movie again.
And I made that mistake of Labyrinth, my first day of interviews, is like, go watch the film before you play the game. And then when you watch the film in today's climate, you realize, yeah, this is cringy. This is however, when people play the game and then watch the movie, I actually connected way more with the movie, because now they know, I know why those heads are jumping out. Like, they know the characters, because the whole point of that game was not to be Sarah, it was about connecting and seeing Hoggle and Ludo and being in that world, right? That's what we do, is like, we don't say you're playing the character because we don't have access to it. In fact, you know, they would have probably liked us to do that, but the whole point is, this is your experience. Like with Dune, you are fighting alongside the Fremen and watching Paul ascend to where he needs to be. That's always was the design for it, you know? So, sorry,
And
long story.
to that point, I will disagree with the thing that you said about designing around an IP. I think we all know that with your background in film and all of those things, that you design within an IP. So you're not going around them. When you guys play the games that, you know, that we make, David is putting us in that universe. And how are you seeing things from within that universe? It's not, we have to pull all of these elements that they have in, you know, their little catalog of here are our logos and stuff like that. It's much more about if you were in that world, if you were in that place, and you were feeling the things the people who were in there were feeling and seeing. So when you see like the sunrise and the sunset and nighttime coming in Dune, and you get that whole lighting experience, you're there. Like, you're actually in that place. So the storytelling, and I think that the themes that David has chosen and the IPs that he's chosen are places where we can explore, and where you as players can explore where you are within that IP. So not around them, it's very much in them.
How do y'all follow a storyline? Like, I was asked that on the tour about Winchester. So, you know, that's pretty vague. It's a story.
So that's all Carl, right? So like, he was the lead on doing all the rules and how that was going to play out. But if you go to the Winchester house, you go on a tour. Now, the tour is pretty linear, but the whole point is you can go to any room. So they allowed us to create whatever the wheelbarrow ghost is a real, well, is one of the stories they tell. Isn't that right, Sarah? Thank you. But they allowed us to tell the story that we want. We wanted this to be, you are on the tour of this guy that's kind of kooky, and like, he's done this a long time, and you know, he's taking you on that tour. So the whole idea is there's over 163 rooms in this house. So how many different exciting things can we do in those rooms? You know, he came up with the story of the villain that is, you know, controlling the spirits, and every room has a spirit in it, or a ghost. No, we're allowed to say spirits. For some reason, Jeff said we weren't allowed to say spirits, but that's not true.
We can say ghost.
Ghost.
We say spirit.
Either way. So the whole point is, a ghost is stuck in a room, and the overall story is they are being held there by this malicious spirit called Henry. So your whole idea is every time you choose a room to go to, you are freeing that spirit from that room to go to the grand ballroom, which goes into a major wizard mode. So it's really about how can we utilize, when it comes to storytelling, that is utilizing the playfield as best we possibly can, make it as diverse as you possibly can, and make sure it's entertaining for those 2.5, 3 minutes that we have in the game. And honestly, Carl's game, I expect it to be really brutal. But so the ideal, so we'll get into the actual little bit of mathematics behind it. A good pinball machine should only play for about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, 50 seconds. When you look at arcades, that's enough time for people to get experience with it, see something, but short enough they have to put enough core in. When you start going above 3 minutes, you start losing point drop.
Board.
So actually, Carl's game is playing at like 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I can tell you Labyrinth actually hits 2 minutes and 52 seconds on the nose. Best outlanes in the industry.
But to open that a little wider, like in just general design, the first thing you have to do when you have an IP is what is the, and this is what discussion we had back and forth with Dune, is what is the standpoint of the player? Who are you playing as? You know, Labyrinth, it was obvious. Okay, Dune was like, you could go this way, you could go that way. So that's kind of the first thing that starts the storyline, is what is your perspective, and then it develops out from there.
I see a hand.
That's great that you just said that 2 minutes 45 seconds and everything, but that's like very counteractive to what you just said in the factory, that we don't build for arcades anymore, we build for the home.
No, I was just giving you the example.
But, I mean,
if I was designing that way, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
So when I talk about Carl designing the game, I expect it to be hard. So a hard game is playing under 2 minutes. And his game is the point was I'm trying to make, he's actually making a game that's actually, it's extended out.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, knowing who he is, it should have been a really brutal game.
About 30
But
seconds.
there still has to be a balance there, because
Oh,
even for a home collector, you don't want to sit there for an hour playing a game.
Correct. And that's to come down to code, right? Like we've got a roadmap of what the code we're going to do, but we're also going to go above and beyond. Like Labyrinth, for a good example, we roadmapped that within 12 months.
Speaking of Labyrinth, I want to commend you on putting that barrel bash mode in there. Stall wall.
That's in every game we got.
Yeah.
So in fact, there's going to be a big update for that. Well, it's not big, but we will have a major overhaul on that coming probably within the next month to make it even better. So, but like with Labyrinth, like we were roadmap complete on that, and we still add stuff to it. Like I added, ELO tea multi-ball, where I always wanted to have tea with ELO, because that's what he says in the morning. Come inside, meet the missus, have a cup of tea. Never got to do that. Well, in this game, you literally can have tea with ELO and put sugar and milk in your coffee and your tea as you shoot for jackpots. And Henson was cool with that. Like legit, they were like, oh, awesome. Never thought that would happen. And it did. Any other questions? We got 10 minutes.
So I had this great idea, and I didn't come to it when I was on the tour, just talking.
All right, hold on. Any ideas, suggestions, put out, free for hold, and can't be copyrighted.
Well, this one's for copyright expired. It's a Christmas story. And so the question I would ask is, so in the second movie, the second version, which is pretty good, the focus was on Blackspear. And so Blackspear is pretty much defunct, but I assume that one may still have a copyright to it. How would you do that? How would you figure that out?
So before Winchester, I said good luck, I'm not going to touch it, because it is a big risk in the company, okay? But we like challenges, so it's literally just finding the best way to approach it. So it's like, so for example, there are IPs out there that some people say they're free to use. I could tell you right now, they are most likely not. It's just those estates don't choose to pursue it. So my job as a company is to do the right thing as the owner of it. Even if I think it's public domain, I'm still going to approach if the estate's still around and get their involvement. Because at the end of the day, they're closer to that than anyone else. So it's just a matter of finding the right places. A lot of people think you just go in and you pay money for a license, you get a style guide, and off you go. You get everything. That is not the case at all. It is literally, and it's all honeymoon phase. They tell you that. They'll even tell you you're going to get X, Y, and Z. But we know, like, you will pay money for one license, you get the license, and then you're gonna have to pay for music. I've said this on the tour. You pay for music, you pay for actors' rights, you're gonna pay for video clips, you're gonna pay for needle drops, you're gonna pay for marketing. So, for example, you'll see a lot of trailers come out that don't even have the real music in it because you have to pay another fee for it. So these are all things I take into account. So, for example, when I went to get a certain IP, when they told me that, can I do this? And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, my license. The saddest thing about this whole industry is before I actually started working in it, I had all these dreams, like homebrewers, I want to make X, Y, Z. This is going to be freaking awesome. I will say now, nearly every time, even my own team will go, David, let's get this license. And I'll be excited for like a second, and then all of a sudden my license hat comes on. I was like, this is why it's not going to work. This is why it's not going to be viable. That is honestly this little soul crushing thing for me.
Is that what you do mostly, or do you have a research team or someone?
And that's pretty much just us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're
it's
talking
just
to the
so that
research team.
so that is the sad part. Like, and I say this very kindly to the homebrewers out there. If you have an IP that you want to see it become a commercial game, and if you make it, you've just made it 80% harder for a commercial game to come of it. Because if the licensor is actively looking at it, then all of a sudden they're going to ask for probably 40% more for the license. And they're going to say, if you don't make it, I'll use a great example, Nightmare Before Christmas by Mark, right? I love that IP. I would love to make it. But if I was to make it, I cannot make what he made because of what he put into it. There's so much in it, I can't commercially make it viable. And B, he's probably doing stuff that the license wouldn't even allow me to do. So that's the double-edged sword. I don't want homebrewers to stop doing what they're doing, but it was like, for me, being in that seat back in the day, got to be really conscious of like, do you want to see a successful application of it in a commercial environment?
I can imagine that's pretty frustrating.
It's a challenge.
I'd like to say thank you very much for doing it because you make great games.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. If you're frustrated one day, think about us. That on that day and say, look at these guys.
Dude, we do have frustrating days, but I walk the floor every day and thank my lucky stars I get to these guys to do stuff. You know, like it is a honor to be a part of it. It's frustrating because everyone has bad days, don't we, guys?
Yeah.
Like it really is hard, but again, we keep doing what we're doing, and we'll keep just as long as you keep buying, we'll keep making it. It's the best we can do. Anything else? Oh.
I have more of a statement than a question. First, I'm not in this business at all. So I'm a collector, I'm a player. You know, many years since I was a kid and I saw pinball come, pinball go, that sort of thing. You know, the whole IP thing, I mean, as a player, I'm a businessman, so, you know, focus groups, all this stuff, I'm familiar with all that. But I mean, honestly, the machines are brilliant. I mean, that's why they're successful. The IP is great. But you know, I'm talking to people out there, there's a line to play Harry Potter, and I'm just like, you know these stories? I have daughters that read all the books and everything. They don't have any idea. They just love the machine. It's just amazing. And so you should all be commended. I mean, these machines are brilliant. I don't think the IP is, you know, all the money. There's lots of machines that have IPs that are terrible, that fail. I mean, the IP was good, but the machine was not. I mean, it's just amazing what you've done. It's really fantastic. And I can just tell all of you are so proud of, except I can't see her face, but everybody else.
She's grinning ear to ear. You saw it, it'd be Death Wish style.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Anyway, I just think it's amazing. And I think too that you guys can probably take any IP and make a brilliant machine that would be successful. You do what you've done on the other machines. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
And
because I mean, Winchester, I read about it, but I didn't know that much. Yeah.
Well, and
It's
honestly,
amazing.
this is what everyone says they want original IPs, okay?
Yeah.
I can tell you financially throughout the industry that is not the truth, okay? What you think of original IPs, Whitewater, Medieval Madness, the reason they are successful, Theater of Magic, is they've been in the round for over 30 years and you've played and learned to love them. That makes you nostalgic for them, okay? All those games were actually shelf fillers for their licensed games back in the day, okay? Also, licensing back then didn't cost much because it was part of the marketing materials for the studios.
Right.
And it wasn't until the late 90s, early 2000s that started to switch where, oh, no, you can start making us, like paying us to do it, all right? So I knew that the Winchester was as close as original IP that we were going to do. And honestly, if this didn't do that well, I don't think we'll be taking that risk as much. But honestly, you guys have given confidence that we can maybe take an additional risk here and there. But
I mean,
again,
it's friggin' amazing because it's creepy, it's cool. I mean, this is a story that probably nobody knows except from the pinball machine. I mean, it's that good.
But
so,
think about it.
You
So
know,
now-
I knew about the Winchester family and the house and all that just from reading, but you know, I mean, there was a movie, but it wasn't very good. The pinball machine's better than all of that. So,
But
I
here's
mean,
the thing,
you
the
could build other
licenser-
stuff that's better than, you know,
the
you could
license
make
is
up
getting
on IP.
30 phone calls a
amazing.
day asking when they're getting Winchester on location.
Yeah.
Like they are inundated. In fact, I somewhat got I got a angry email basically saying none of our high-end customers was able to even get one.
Yeah.
And trust me, we did not design this to sell out as quickly as it did. We thought it was going to be a slow burn. It's why we have a 3-tier system. We have tier A, B, and C. One we know that will hopefully cover everything. The second one is it has the potential of being an A. And the C is just a passion. Like, we really believe it will be an amazing game. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
So,
Have you seen the third installment of Doom? Do you have
cannot comment now. All right, and this is the end of our talk. I just want to say thank you for coming here and watching these amazing people up here. They're the ones that make it happen every day. And thank you for listening to our story and
Yes.
asking good questions.
Stop and ask them questions and thank them for their work. If you have anything else, let us know. Somebody do.